Have you ever really stopped to think about how that thing you wanted just shows up? Whether it's sitting on a store shelf, landing on your doorstep, or popping up on your phone, getting a product or service into your hands is honestly one of the most incredible puzzles in business. It's what marketers call place in the famous 4 Ps, and today we are going deep on the strategy behind it all. So, picture this. You've done it. You've built the perfect product. You've designed a service that's going to change lives. That's the hard part over, right? Not even close. The real challenge, the one that makes or breaks businesses every single day, is this question right here. How in the world do you connect that amazing thing you've made with the people who actually want or need it? You know, this story is the perfect example. Way back in 1911, L.L. Bean didn't just create a better hunting boot, he created a better way to get that boot to people. He used mail order, which was a huge deal back then, and topped it with a game-changing 100% satisfaction guarantee. See, he knew his distribution system wasn't just about logistics, it was the business. He literally built a path right to his customer's door. And that challenge, building that path, has only gotten, well, 100 times more complex. Every single business, I don't care if it's a corner coffee shop or a massive software company, faces what we can call the delivery dilemma. And it's really a whole series of choices that end up defining your entire experience with them. So, to figure out this dilemma, we can actually use a really simple but super powerful framework. It just boils everything down to 4 key questions. What is it you're actually delivering? How is it going to get there? Where will people find it? And when will it be available? This little model is going to be our roadmap for the rest of the 6-player. So let's jump right into that how question, because this is one of the first, biggest decisions any company has to make. How should your product or service actually be distributed? Well, it turns out you've got 3 core choices. And here they are. It's actually pretty straightforward when you break it down. Option 1, you, the customer, go to a physical place, like a store or a clinic. Option 2, the provider comes to you, to your house or your office. And option 3, the whole thing happens at a distance, over the phone, through the mail, or, of course, the internet. And this just shows that contrast perfectly, right? On the left, you've got the classic retail trip. You want a Coach bag, you go to the Coach store. But on the right, you've got something like tree pruning. Your tree isn't going anywhere, so the service absolutely has to come to you. And this idea of the provider comes to you can be taken to some pretty wild extremes. I mean, check out this company, Agrico. They don't just deliver a pizza, they deliver massive mobile power grids and climate control systems. Think about the World Cup. They need temporary power for the broadcast centers. Or imagine a town hit by a hurricane. Agrico literally brings the entire infrastructure to wherever it's needed. It's incredible. Okay, so once you figure out how you're going to connect with people, the questions just keep coming. Now you've got to get specific about where and when. And deciding where is not just about guesswork. For a company like Starbucks, it is a hardcore science. This quote from one of their managers says it all. They're using geospatial intelligence, fancy words for data about where people live, work, and travel, to make these decisions. They're not just putting a store where you are. They're putting it on the corner you're about to walk by. And what about when? I mean, does it feel like everything is just open all the time now? Well, yeah, and these are the reasons why. We, the consumers, are busier, so we demand more flexible hours. For the businesses, it just makes sense to get more use out of their really expensive buildings. And the big one, technology like ATMs and self-checkout kiosks, means they can be open without needing a person there 24/7. So for decades, these ideas of how, where, and when were the bedrock of business. And then, the internet and smartphones didn't just show up to the party, they crashed it. This wasn't just a new option, it was a total revolution that changed the entire game. And this revolution created 2 new ways of thinking, and you have to know the difference. Multi-channel is fine. It just means a company uses more than one channel, maybe a website and a store. But often, those channels act like they don't know each other. They might even compete. Omni-channel, though, that's the dream. That's when all the channels are woven together so your experience is totally seamless. The company doesn't care if you're a website customer or a store customer. They just see you. And here's that omni-channel dream in action. You're browsing on the Walmart app on your couch, you place an order, and then later you just swing by the store and pick it up. You see? The app and the physical store aren't two separate things. They're just two different ways of interacting with one single, unified system that's built completely around your convenience. Of course, all these digital channels created some massive headaches for old school retailers. And the biggest one is this thing called showrooming. You know what this is. You go to a store, you hold the product, you ask an employee a bunch of questions, and then you pull out your phone, find it for $10 cheaper online, and buy it from a competitor while you're still standing in the aisle. This one behavior forced stores to completely rethink their reason for existing. Okay, so trying to manage a physical store, a website, a mobile app, a call center, it gets incredibly complicated, incredibly fast. Which is why even the biggest companies in the world almost never try to do it all by themselves. They rely on a whole network of partners, what we call intermediaries, to help get the job done. Franchising is probably one of the most famous partnership models out there. You have a brand like Subway that wants to grow like crazy, so they partner with local business owners who put up their own cash to open a new location. And just look at the range of costs on this chart. It's wild. You can open a gym for less than $100,000 or a hotel for over $4 million. It's an amazingly flexible way to expand fast. But here's the twist. Sometimes the smartest move is to have fewer partners, not more. Stihl chainsaws are the perfect case study. Their ad asks the question point blank, and the answer is strategy. They decided to only sell their products through independent, specialized dealers. Why? Because they believe for something that complex, and frankly that dangerous, you need expert advice and service. That's part of their brand, and you just can't get that in a giant big box store. So if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. Distribution is not just about moving boxes from A to B. It's not an afterthought. The choices a company makes about where you can buy their stuff, how it gets to you, and who helps you along the way, that is the brand. It defines your entire experience. Which, of course, leaves us with a huge, fascinating question. We've come all the way from mail-order catalogs to apps that know what we want. So with tech moving so fast, with AI predicting our needs and drones promising to deliver in minutes, what's next? What does the next revolution look like? Will our fridge just order more milk on its own? Will the next shoes we buy get 3D printed at a neighborhood hub moments after we design them online? The only thing we know for sure is that path from the creator to you is only going to get shorter, faster, and a whole lot more personal.